always believe house. Tomorrow we have a test over graphing lines and figuring out parallel and perpendicular line equations. Ho, 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 ho. So let's get rocking and rolling, and we're going to have F-U-N, fun, fun, fun. And a magical whiteboard appears, and let's get going on your notes. There's going to be a lot of graphing on this, so it's pretty simple to graph. You graph the y-intercept, then you do it the slope. So in this problem here, let's identify our m and our b. Our m is 1 over 3, and our b is equal to negative 3. The m tells us to go up and to the right, doesn't it? Your slope tells you to go up or down to the right. Up or down to the right. So let's graph this line. So we're going to start at negative 3. And then our slope tells us from that dot, we're going to go up 1, right 3. So I'm going to go up 1, right 3. I cannot go up 1, right 3 again, or I'll be off the graph. So I'm going to go down 1, left 3. That gives me 3 dots. Get those dots all the way across the graph. Now then, let's graph the next line. So my m equals negative 5 over 3, and my b equals 3. And this is telling me to go down and to the right. Remember, your slope tells you up or down to the right, up or down to the right. And our y-intercept's 3. So we're going to graph our y-intercept, and then our slope tells us to go down 5, right 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. I'm right here on this dot, aren't I? That's going to be the solution. So graph both of the lines. Your ID cards make perfect straight edges. And then draw an arrow to that ordered pair, and that ordered pair looks like it's 3, negative 2. Remember, your ordered pair is left or right, up or down, just like 6th grade. You learned in 6th grade to graph an ordered pair. The x-axis goes left or right, the y-axis goes up or down. When you do the slope, you go up or down to the right. Big difference. Let's do number 2. Number 2 is pretty simple. We have an x-equal line and a y-equal line. An x-equal line will be vertical. A y-equal line will be horizontal. So let's graph x equals 4. It's going to be right here. And let's graph y equals negative 2. It's going to be right here. They intersect right here. And that ordered pair, Shazam, will be the same numbers, won't it? It'll be 4, negative 2. That's the ordered pair where those two lines will meet. That's all you're trying to do. Graph 2 lines, find out where the ordered pairs meet. If the lines are parallel, there's no solution. If the lines sit on top of each other, same line, infinitely many. So let's continue. The next one right here, let's write down our m and our b. So our slope is negative 3 over 2. This tells me down and to the right. And my y-intercept is 2. So you start with the y-intercept at 2, draw a dot, and then my slope is down 3, right 2, and I can do it one more time. Down 3, right 2, and I could also go up 3 and left 2, can I? So if I go from left to right, my dots are constantly going down 3, right 2. Make the pattern of dots. Make as many of those dots as you can. This is pretty simple. You're not doing any math. All you're doing is counting dots. Okay, let's go to the next one. My slope on this one is negative 1/2, which means down and to the right, and my y-intercept's negative 2. So let's graph that. I'm going to go to the negative 2. And my slope is down 1, right 2. Down 1, right 2. And right here they cross. I'm going to go backwards and get all my dots. Connect the lines. And let's just graph it in green. So I have 2 lines that do this. Not the perfectly straight lines. Draw an arrow to that dot. That dot is at 4, negative 4. So at 4, negative 4, the lines intersect. That is the solution to the system. Pretty simple stuff. All you're trying to do is find out where the lines cross. Number 4, writing equations. Fun, 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 fun. So let's find the slope of these lines. Remember, your slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. This will be on your formula chart. You do not have to memorize it. I like doing this when I get the slope. Label your x and y. And I would underline the y's. The y's go on top, the x's go on bottom. So my negative 5 and 2 go on top, and on bottom I'm going to put negative 1 and negative 10. Punch this into the calculator. If you use a calculator, you won't miss it. Okay, I'm going to do this by hand, and this is going to be a wicked slope. So this slope is going to be negative 7 over 9, which is going to be this, okay? So my slope is negative, and I'm going to put it down here. My slope is negative 7 over 9. My parallel, the symbol for parallel is this. So my parallel slope will not change. It's going to be negative 7 over 9. The perpendicular slope, remember the perpendicular symbol is this, okay? To get the perpendicular slope, we got to take this and we're going to change it, right? It's the opposite reciprocal. So we're going to flip and change the sign, so the perpendicular slope will be 9 over 7. So I found my slope. The parallel slope won't change. The perpendicular slope, you get the opposite reciprocal. You flip the fraction and change the sign. Oh, 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 oh. Continuing on, turn the page. Oh, oh, oh. Let's graph this fun line. Oh, so remember, you're graphing a whole bunch of lines. This should be a piece of cake. Write down m equals 3, b equals negative 4. My slope is really 3 over 1 in it. That means I'm going to go up 3, right 1. But I'm going to start off at negative 4. So I'm going to put a dot at negative 4, and I'm going to go up 3 over 1, up 3 over 1, up 3. I could do that 3 more times. Every time I go left to right, I'm going up 3 over 1. Just count the spaces. Not hard. Let's graph the next line. The slope is negative 1/2. My y-intercept is 3. This means I'm going to go down and to the right in it. Positive slope is up, negative slope is down. So we're going to start off at the 3, and I'm going to go down 1, right 2, ding, 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 ding. They cross right there, don't they? And I'm going to continue on with the other dots. I'm going to graph the lines, and remember, I don't have a straight edge, so this isn't going to be perfect. This is the intersection point in it. So that ordered pair would be 2, 2, wouldn't it? So wherever the ordered pairs, wherever that crosses, remember, left or right, up or down to get your ordered pair, piece of cake. 2, 2 is the solution to the system. Oh, what is the equation? In point slope form, if a line passes through the point and is perpendicular. Okay, so let's get our slope first. So our slope right now is 1/2. So let's write down 1/2, draw an arrow, and we need the perpendicular slope to that. So it's positive, it's going to turn negative, and the 1/2 is going to flip to 2 over 1 or 2. So this is going to be my new slope. This is my point. Now then I'm going to plug into point slope, right? My students are really good at this. Okay, the more you do it, the quicker you get at it. You're going to plug in 3 numbers. So let's start. Y, the opposite of positive 3 is a negative 3, equals, my m is negative 2, parentheses x. The opposite of the negative 2 is a positive 2. That's all you have to do. I have this in point slope form, and that's what it wants. So I stop right there, ding, 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 ding. That's my answer. Ho, 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 ho. Fun, 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 fun. Just like eating an Oreo cookie. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Let's go to number 7. What does it mean for a system of equations to have one solution? That's what we've been graphing. When you graph 2 lines and they cross at one point, that is a system of equations that has one solution. So let's start with our answer. Let's say our answer, let's do 2 comma, no, let's do 2 comma 3. So draw an ordered pair at 2 comma 3, and let's draw, just draw 2 lines that go through that dot. That's what the answer is, okay? Doesn't have to be any equations there, but those 2 lines cross at 2 comma 3, that would be a system of equations with one solution. What about no solution? If it has no solution, it's parallel. And remember, the symbol for parallel is this. Basically, it's 2 lines that never cross. So you would have, and just draw 2 lines like this that look parallel. Since they don't cross, they will have no solution. There is no ordered pair you could put in either line that will make both work. That's basically what you're saying. Turn the page! Oh, oh, oh. The fun continues. Oh, okay, what is the equation in slope-intercept form of the line that passes through xy, that point, and is parallel to this? So we need a parallel slope. So let's write down our m is 2 over 3. And if we want a parallel slope, it will not change, will it? So our slope stays 2 over 3. We're going to use point slope. The more you use this, the easier it's going to get. Remember, you're plugging in 3 numbers, right? This is your x, this is your y, and this is your m, right? So let's write out our point slope equation. Y, the opposite of 5, and let me make sure these are positive. The opposite of 5 is minus 5 equals, our slope is 2 over 3, parentheses x. The opposite of positive 12 is negative 12. So the 12 and 5, when you plug them in, they flip around and the sign changes. You plug in the y first and the x second. Now that in this one we have a fraction, so remember the trick. The denominator goes to the left, the numerator goes to the right. So we're going to get rid of that fraction. We're going to blue bell truck the 3, or distribute the 3, and then this 2 is left, it's going to go to the right. So when we put 3 on top, it cancels the fraction out. The numerator goes to the parentheses to the right of it. Now then you got 4 multiply problems. So 3 times y is 3y. 3 times negative 5 is negative 15 equals 2 times x is 2x. 2 times negative 12 is negative 24. This is not easy if you cannot multiply and divide. You've got to use the calculator. So you're multiplying 3 times y, 3 times negative 5, 2 times x, and 2 times negative 12. You're doing 4 multiply problems. Every one of those has to be right, or it will be wrong. The next step, you always, always, always move this number. So I'm going to take that number and move it to the right. So I'm going to end up with 3y equals 2x. Negative 24 plus 15 is a negative 9. The last step, I want the y all by itself. I'm going to divide by 3. And that's going to give me y equals 2 over 3x minus 3. Ding, 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 ding. A lot of steps. This is the hardest thing you're doing in this class before Christmas. It's just a lot of steps. You got to get every single math problem right in it. There's a lot of integer work. Continuing on, number 10. What does it mean for a solution to have infinitely many solutions? This means that if you graph one line, and I could do this one with a thick line, the next line is going to be straight. It's going to be the same line right on top of it, okay? That means basically, let's write this down. Y equals 2x plus 3. Multiply everything in that equation by 2. Okay? If you were to graph both those lines, they would have the same line. So basically, you're taking one equation, multiplying it by something else, generating the same line because the equations are multiples of each other. So an example of that, you would draw a line that looks like this, and then you would draw another line that goes right on top of it. Okay? The 2 lines coincide. Any dot on that line will make the 2 equations work. Ho, 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 ho. Number 11. Oh! Write the equation in slope-intercept form, which is y equal mx plus b. The line that passes through this point, that's by x and y, and is parallel to this line, and write down y equals 1.4x plus 2.8. We forgot to put the y in there. So this right here is our slope. So our slope is 1.4, and we want the parallel line. It will not change, will it? So our slope stays 1 and 4/10, and this is my x and y. I'm going to plug this into point slope and switch it to mx plus b. So let's do the point slope. Remember, the point slope is y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1, and you are going to replace the y, the m, and the x. So let's do that. We're going to have y. The opposite of positive 1 is negative 1. My slope is 1 and 4/10. X, the opposite of positive 5 is negative 5. This won't be hard because there's not a fraction. So we're just going to multiply the 1.4. We're going to distribute it, then move over the 1. So let's distribute the 1 and 4/10. We're going to get y minus 1 equals 1 and 4/10 x. And then 1.4 times 5 is 7. A positive times a negative would be a negative. The next step, remember, you always move that number over. So we're going to take that number, move it over, add 1, and we're going to get y equals 1 and 4/10 x minus 6. Notice that the slope did not change, but the y-intercept went from 2 and 8/10 to negative 6, so the lines will be parallel. And they would have no solution if you were to graph the system. Let's do number 12. Okay, this is tough stuff. This is the hardest thing you'll do this year before Christmas. Just keep going at it. You'll get it, okay? So we want the line in slope-intercept form, y equal mx plus b, and it passes through this point. That's our x and our y, and it's going to be perpendicular to this, so our slope starts off at 3 over 5, and we want the perpendicular slope, don't we? So we're going to flip the slope and switch the sign. So my new slope will be negative 5 over 3, won't it? So I know my m, my x, and my y. So write down point slope. And remember, we're putting numbers into these 3 spots. So y, the opposite of negative 3 is a positive 3, equals our m is negative 5 over 3, which stinks because we got to multiply. And then x, and the opposite of positive 2 is negative 2. So we're going to get rid of the fraction, so the denominator goes to the left, the numerator goes to the right. So you're going to take this 3 and multiply it over here. That makes these 3's divide out to 1, and the negative 5 gets bluebell trucked to here. So the 3 goes to the y and the 3, the negative 5 goes to the x and the 2. We got to do 4 multiply problems. So 3 times y is 3y, 3 times 3 is 9, negative 3 times x is negative 3x, negative 5x, negative 5 times x, negative 5 times negative 2 is a positive 10. Oh, so I just multiplied the 4 numbers. The next step, you always move this number. So that number gets moved to the right. So we have 3y equals negative 5x, 10 minus 9 is positive 1. Now then I'm just going to divide by 3. Divide by 3, divide by 3, divide by 3, and I will get y equals negative 5 over 3x plus 1 over 3. Ho, 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 ho. F-U-N, fun, fun, fun. Doing that math problem tastes just like an Oreo cookie. Ho, 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 ho. That is good stuff. Let's go to 13. Graph the system and state the solution. So we need our slope and our y-intercept. Y'all should be getting good at graphing lines. So our slope is negative 4, and I'm going to put it over 1, which means I'm going to go down and to the right, and then my y-intercept is 3. So graph the y-intercept first. It's called the starting number. Graph that first. It starts at 3. Then my slope tells me to go down 4, right 1. So down 4, right 1. I could do that 2 more times. So I get those 3 dots. I can't go up or I'll be off the graph. Let's graph the next one. The slope is negative 1. I'm going to put negative 1 over 1. That means I'm going to go down 1, right 1, aren't I? And my b is equal to negative 2. So I'm going to start at negative 2 and go down 1, right 1, okay? And unfortunately, this one is not going to work. So let's change this so it will work and make this a positive x. So our slope will be a positive, okay? So make that y equals x minus 2. So that means our slope would be positive 1 over 1. That means I won't go down, I'll go up, and I'm going to start at the negative 2. So I'm going to put a dot at the negative 2, then I'm going to go up 1 over 1, and boom, I got my intersection point, don't I? Now then I'm going to graph those lines, circle the intersection point, and that intersection point is at 1 comma negative 1 in it. So if I go over 1, down 1 from the origin, I get where the 2 lines cross. Ho, 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 ho. Number 14, another one. Isn't this fun? Yeah, graphing lines is the bomb. It is simple. You don't have to do it in math. All you got to do is count spaces. Y'all can do this. Okay, write down m equals 1 over 4. That means I'm going to go up 1 and right 4, aren't I? And my y-intercept is negative 4. So we're going to start at negative 4. This is a long video, I know. Then we're going to go up 1, right 4. So count up 1, right 4, and then go down 1, left 4. So my new line is going to go through one of those dots. Oh, now then let's graph the next line. Oh, this is a long, long video. So my slope is negative 1/2, and my y-intercept's negative 1. This slope is telling me to go down and to the right in it. So I'm going to start at the negative 1, and then I'm going to go down 1, right 2, and down, and ding, 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 ding. This is where they cross in it. So let's graph these lines. Circle the intersection point, draw an arrow to it, and then get the ordered pair of that. I'm going to go over 4 and down 3. So my ordered pair is 4 comma negative 3. Ho, 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 ho. And we're almost done. We only got 2 more problems. Like the big box of Oreos is almost gone. Savor the Oreo cookies. Oh, oh, oh. So let's enjoy this, okay? We're going to solve for x here. We haven't done an equation in a long time. So the first step is to get rid of those parentheses. So I'm going to bluebell truck the 5, and I'm going to bluebell truck the 16. Nothing's going to happen to that 2. So now we're going to do 5 times 8 is 40. 5 times negative 2 is negative 10. My letter is x. Remember, sign, number, letter equals the 2 drops. 16 times 4 is a positive 64. If you can't do that, punch 16 times 4 on the calculator and then plus 16x. Oh, now then we're going to group the 2 and the 64. So 40 minus 10x equals 66 plus 16x. The next step, it kind of helps if you move the smallest x. So negative 10 is more smaller than 16x. It's more left in it. So let's move the negative 10x. So I'm going to take the negative 10x, move it to the right, and I'm going to add 10x, aren't I? So I'm going to get 40 equals 66 plus 26x. Oh, now then, since the x is on the right, I'm going to move my number to the left. So this 66 is going to move to the 40 in it. So 40 minus 66 is not 106. 40 minus 66 is negative 26 equals to 26x. Divide by 26, the coefficient, and you will get negative 1. Oh. That's like a mega stuffed Oreo taste. Oh, good stuff. Oh. We only got 1 more problem. You're going to be done with Mr. Toots for the day after this problem. Okay, so on this problem, we're going to write the equation in slope-intercept form. So let's write down y equal mx plus b. We need to find the slope and the y-intercept. So I'm going to go to the equation. I'm going to zoom in. This is my y-intercept. And my slope is going to go down and to the right in it. So it went down 2 and to the right 5. So my m is going to be negative 2 over 5. So I'm going to take those numbers and plug them in. So y equals, my slope's negative 2 over 5. I'm going to plug that in, x, and my y-intercept is 4. Ho. Fun. Make sure you have this review on your test tomorrow. Make sure, my cat is meowing. Make sure you have this review on your test tomorrow. It will be open note. This will help out tremendously. Have a blast. I've been on this video too long. Remember, you are amazing. You are created to do wonderful things. And you are awesome.